Appointed judges and magistrates, the last 2 years of waiting have been agonizing. Reports have emerged of how some of them went into depression while others lacked means of a livelihood. Our reporter Daniel Kariuki tells us the story of some of these officers, judicial officers rather, and their long wait.
When the Judicial Service Commission in 2019 handed over to President Uhuru Kenyatta a list of 41 nominees for their appointment to 3 different courts, the 41 hoped for an immediate action, but weeks changed to months and then years, waiting for entry into their elevated positions. And as the fight between judiciary and executive continued, many of the affected suffered in silence.
Do swear in the name of the Almighty God to upholding the dignity,
religious or other influence.
And Friday, one after the other took an oath, bringing to an end the long stalemate. Perhaps as each and every judge took the oath, it served as a reprieve and an assurance that the suffering was finally over. Of those appointed, a section were lawyers who operated private law firms. KTN has learned most of them closed shop after their names were forwarded to the president for appointment, not aware the appointment could change to be a stalemate and they would eventually wait for a long time.
It is me as the representative who has had to engage them practically every other day as they continue languishing in the court, not knowing whether they are advocates or whether now they are judges. And the moment the recommendation came out, they were no longer sure whether to continue taking briefs, to stop, and their lives literally were turned upside down, and they've gone through a lot of suffering, not to mention, of course, their families and all that.
Sources have told KTN of how the nominees formed a support group on WhatsApp to keep check of their counterparts, with a number of the nominees almost went into depression as they awaited with bated breath.
There is no doubt that we need also the remaining 6 to be appointed. But as the representative of lawyers at the JSC, and this being people that I deal with every day, I was also not prepared for a situation whereby we say that we don't go for the appointments and the swearing in, considering the suffering they've gone through already. We had to mitigate that. And I'm quite happy that yesterday I attended the swearing in, that at least that is over. They can be able to get in and do the work.
Most of the nominees had taken long-term projects from clients that they were forced to compensate the clients or hand over the files to other lawyers. And from bad to worse, one of the nominee, Harrison Okeche, died late last year before he was sworn in after a road accident. Focus has now shifted to the 34 already sworn in as they seek to resolve judiciary's dire situation and backlog of cases.
Let's always make sure that the public interest overrides private interest. Ego and as to who is big, who is small, should never be the reason why we should not serve the public.
However, the fate of the 6 remains in a limbo, same to the life situation. Daniel Kariuki, KTN News.
Now, the legal headwinds against the Building Bridges initiative continue to gather.